Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying 2023 so far. I sure am. I would have had this release up a little bit earlier, but I took a break in between. However, I'm back and I'm ready to start off 2023 reviewing some more VHS tapes and DVDs. And what better one should we start this year off with than Mission Celebration? So let's stop talking about 2023 and start talking about the release history of this release. Mission Celebration was first released onto DVD on August 22nd, 2006 by Walt Disney Home Entertainment. This is another one of these releases that doesn't get a lot of recognition, as apart from this original release and a few international releases, it just disappeared. And if anybody knew the show but didn't know the DVDs, they didn't know that this existed. However, what makes up for this is how this was actually one of my birthday gifts in 2016 on my birthday, right around when I turned 12. And I got this release along with The Legend of the Golden Pyramid, which will be discussed another time. Also to mention that one of the episodes, it premiered on this DVD release. And let's not forget that you can also find Mission Celebration in a 3 DVD pack with Team Up for Adventure and our huge adventure. Alright, that covers the history of this release. Now let's go on to our party-filled episodes on this DVD. So Mission Celebration contains 3 episodes, all from Season 1. The Birthday Machine, Go West Young Train, and the Birthday Balloons. So let's begin with our first episode, The Birthday Machine. After finding blueprints for a birthday machine, the team and Rocket go searching for the parts to make the machine, and to make today everyone's birthday. For the first episode on the release, I think it's an amazing one. And holy crap, this is awesome. I remember when I first saw this release, and I was blown away by what I saw. With that said, this episode is a good one based around a legend concept. I do like how, but the episode's fixation on the birthday on a machine that can make one day everyone's birthday seems a bit strange. And I must point, and the one thing to me that doesn't make any sense is how how the continuity of everyone aging by 1 year isn't made known in other episodes. And I do admit that a machine that can make anyone age 1 year is a pretty good concept for an episode. And the birthday, but I have to question, why the hell would they make a machine to make one day everyone's birthday? And I also have to question, did anyone die because some of them aged 1 year? That's messed up as... But in conclusion, I'd say that the birthday machine is an awesome way to start the DVD off, and mind my dare saying, this is one of my favorite episodes from Season 1, and I must point out real quick that it's my 4th favorite. I rate this party-filled episode 10 out of 10. Our second episode on this release is Go West Young Train. After Big Jets takes the Little Red Train's bag of party goods, the train and the team go on the search for Big Jet to get the bag back. This episode is quite unique, and the amount of new stuff we get in this episode is amazing. Annie's cowgirl hat, the visuals of the Grand Canyon, and a locomotive character. This episode went all out. And I must point out, why the hell would Big Jet take the party bag? And I think Big Jet is not really one of my favorite characters, so this dick-like move is terrible on his part. But I must point out, the idea of a locomotive party is a bit forced, but it's also amazing. And I will admit, some of the scenes that never fail to amuse me is the race to get the bag between Big Jet and Little Red Train. And I will admit, the music is actually amazing. While people would find it more fitting on Annie's solo mission, I think it equally fits in better here, because it amplifies the amazingness of the situation. Holy crap, that is cool. In conclusion, I'd say that Go West Young Train has enough Western fun to make this a episode that is worth watching, and it's definitely one of the in my top 10. 9 out of 10. And now we have our final episode, the birthday balloons. After a gust of wind blows Annie's balloons away on her birthday, the team goes on the search for them, leading all the way to Antarctica, where Leo gets the last one back. Oh god, where do I start with this one? For starters, I'm not a big fan of this one in general. And it's not because it's an Annie episode, even though she's one of my two favorites. There are other reasons. I did enjoy the Flash game this was based on, but that's why this episode is overrated. And that a game alone doesn't make me like an episode. It sounds weak. Why don't I like this episode? Because they barely do anything with Annie. She's just there, and most of the focus is on her balloons. How on earth, and how the is Annie involved in this in any way? And the ending and the lead up to Antarctica is just on Leo. This plot is just done in the wrong places, and I can't stand it when these episodes do that. Now, as for being on this release, it is tolerable, but the fact that the plot was all over the place and why this episode is so godly overrated are what really drag it down. It is tolerable on this release, don't get me wrong, but I don't think this is definitely not one of my favorites. Even though it was perfect for this release, it's probably off on another release, which we'll get to in a little bit, if I can get it. In conclusion, I'd say the birthday balloons is a waste of time in general. In general, I rate this a 6 out of 10, but in terms of the release itself, I'm gonna rate this one an 8 out of 10. The only thing that slightly saves it is Annie. Other than that, I don't care about it. So what are my final thoughts on Mission Celebration? Even though one of the episodes is not one I prefer, I think it's a pretty good Season 1 release. The idea of a party-filled DVD is pretty good, and if I'm being honest, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, sure, give or take, one of the episodes isn't my cup of tea, but the other two are. And you can surely tell that they had a lot of fun choosing these episodes. These episodes are a mix of awesome episodes and one overly decent one. I can, however, tolerate them over a few other episodes, and for the only party-filled DVD, I think it was a pretty good one. So other than that, the story selection is solid, some of the music isn't that bad. This is definitely one season 1 release that you must have in your collection. And that does it for this review. I'd like to say thank you to all you viewers for watching, and I hope you guys will stay tuned for more DVD and VHS reviews coming this year. So, what VHS or DVD am I going to be covering in time for the next review? Well, I have a few DVDs that I want to get out of the way as fast as I can so I can move on to a winter DVD that I want to take a look at before spring. So, I'm going to start off with some of the lesser known DVDs and VHS tapes. And I'm going to start off, and I'm going to travel to Antarctica for the next video, where we're going to meet a specific penguin getting up to some Antarctic antics. See you guys next time.